Hi, I'm Nicole and I have a degree in environmental studies and economics. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 25. Here on this channel, I talk about sustainable living, veganism, and minimalism. So if those are things you're interested in, please consider hitting the red subscribe button. So today I want to talk about what to do with cast-off holiday gifts. This can be kind of an awkward conversation to have. That's why I think it's important to tackle it. As minimalists, we really only want to be holding on to what we really need and love. So it can be a little bit difficult when we get a gift that we don't really like or need or want from someone who we love and care about very deeply. So I wanted to kind of look at this because me personally, pre-minimalism, I would just take the gift and ignore the fact that I didn't want it or love it and just keep it anyway and set it aside and try to not deal with it. But the thing about minimalism is that it forces us to face uncomfortable feelings and things and deal with them. So the fact that this is awkward and uncomfortable for many of us is all the more reason why we need to look at this and face it head on. Something that's really helped me is the understanding that the purpose of a gift is fulfilled the moment that it's given. So a person is giving you something to bring you joy, to make you happy, to show you that they care about you and that they were thinking of you. And that's a beautiful thing. However, it does not mean that you need to carry that with you for the rest of eternity. It's about expressing gratitude for that and then being okay with letting that thing go if it doesn't spark joy and moving forward, because your friend, your loved one cares about you. They don't want you to feel stressed out or anxious. They want you to be happy. That's why they gave you that gift. So it's okay to let go of it, especially if you let go of it in a responsible way. If you ask me, what's really the most important is that you express gratitude and you genuinely feel gratitude for the fact that person thought of you and gave you this gift. You don't express gratitude just by keeping something, especially if you just throw it in the corner. The gratitude occurs by what you feel inside, not whether or not you keep it in the back of your sock drawer. I mean, what's so different about keeping it in the back of your sock drawer than giving it to someone else who may actually need it and use it? It's like, it's okay. Like, it's very counterintuitive. It's not how we were raised to think or view gifts at all. But when you kind of have this shift of perspective of like, I care about this person so much that I don't want this thing that they gave me to just go to waste. I want to make sure that it's used and loved. And I'm genuinely so grateful for the fact they thought of me. Now I want to use this energy to give happiness to somebody else who needs it more than I do. Let's talk about some things that you can do with gifts that maybe don't resonate with you, that you just recently received, they're brand new. First things first is that if you're given a gift receipt, you can go ahead and return it or exchange it, because that way it's back on the shelf and somebody who actually loves that thing will be able to bring it home, and you will either have that money energetically or you will have something else that actually resonates with you. Next, if it's something like body products or beauty products, since they're unopened, you can go ahead and donate them to a women's shelter. They will go to a home, to a person, a family who really needs these items, and it will make a huge difference for them. While for you, maybe you would be guilt using it, or you would just leave it sitting in your cabinet until it expired. This is really the perfect time to give these things away because they're brand new. They're still in their packaging. You know, we've all done that, I'm sure, in our minimalist journey, where we've gone through stuff in our cabinets and we're like, oh, this is expired, but it's brand new and I just never used it. And if you know that the moment you get it, that you don't want it, you're not going to use it, give somebody else the opportunity to use it. Give somebody else the opportunity who actually needs it to enjoy it and to love it. Again, we are not bound to hold on to these items. You're not a better friend, daughter, sister, mother by holding on to these things that you don't actually want or you don't care about. Rather, you are a better loved one by the way that you treat people, by the way that you act. So don't let these material things make you feel like a good or bad person either way. It's just stuff. And it's all the better to donate it now while it's new rather than waiting 6 months where it's more likely to be expired. So let's say you receive some kind of food or snacks that maybe you don't like, or you have certain allergens or dietary preferences and that person maybe forgot about that. As long as it's unopened, you can go ahead and donate that to a homeless shelter, and that will be able to help feed people. And even if it's just candies or something like that, that's something that will bring people joy. It's something extra that they don't normally get. So that's a fantastic thing that you can do, is really making sure that these items are used by someone who actually loves them and will really get value from having them. Similarly, when it comes to clothes, you can donate those to a homeless shelter, or like we said before, a women's shelter. You can try to find a home for these clothes to someone who really needs them. Just making sure that these items are going to a good home so that they can be reused. Giving them to a thrift shop is always an option, but I think that it's especially beautiful during this time of year to donate to places who are really in need of stuff right now. If you receive books that you've read or that don't resonate, you can donate those to your local library, or you can find an underfunded school and donate them there. Another thing is, like, for example, in my neighborhood, we have this adorable little box sort of thing, and it's like a community library where people can go and leave books and take books, and it's like a big book swap, and it's really cool, and I've participated in it before. But if it's a book that you're not that crazy about, you can put it in the book swap and just leave it, or take another one that resonates. And I know that these kind of pop up all over, so I'm not sure how you can go about locating one, but if you have one in your neighborhood, that's another option. Now, when it comes to any item, another thing you could always do is offer it to a friend who you know would really, really love it or use it. I do think, however, that if you do this, it's important to let that friend know that this was a gift and that it's something that you don't need or that you don't want, and offer it to them that way. Don't, try to be like, oh, I got you this gift. It's just a little bit of honesty, a little bit of transparency, that's all. But yeah, it's always an option to offer it to a friend, especially if it's something that they've said that they've been wanting or needing. It's a great way to make someone happy. And of course, donating to a thrift shop is always an option as well. Or you could even sell it on Poshmark or Mercari or eBay or anything like that. Just depends what you're comfortable with. I totally understand why some people would not really want to do that. But that, of course, is an option as well. It's really up to you. And again, you're not a bad person for dealing with things in some way. It's great if you want to donate them to a shelter, but you're also not a bad person if you want to sell them and make some money for them so that you can then invest in something else that you do want. There's nothing wrong with that. You are in no way bound to these items. You do not have to hold on to them. You do not have to get rid of them in a certain way. You need to do with them what is best for you. And I just really wanted to talk about this because I think it's important to normalize this, because I think that part of why we live in such a wasteful society, I mean, there's so many reasons, but I do think that to some degree it has to do with the fact that we are so polite, and when we get something, we feel bound to it until 3 years down the line where we're like, I can't believe I still have this, or where did this even come from? And then we just throw it away because it's expired or it got holes in it or whatever. What if we just nipped that in the bud from the beginning and gave that item the opportunity at another life? Wouldn't that make more sense? Wouldn't that be the compassionate thing to do in this situation? Because you're ensuring that that item is getting another chance at life, is helping somebody else who really needs it. It's a real shift in perspective, but I think it's a really powerful one. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you all think about this concept. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.